Like father, like son. Is that true? Did someone ever tell you that you are similar to your parents? Welcome, learners. To answer these questions, we will be looking into social psychology and talking about the social learning approach. The first person that comes to our mind is definitely Albert Bandura. Bandura proposed his social learning theory that emphasizes the importance of observing, modeling, and imitating the behaviors, attitude, and emotional reactions of others. Social learning theory considers how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behaviors. Each behavior witnessed can change a person's way of thinking.
According to Bandura, people's learning can be separated into 4 stages. They are attention, retention, reproduction, and motivation. Attention is the stage to pay attention to the behavior, while retention requires the individual to remember the information and details of the behavior. Reproduction is a stage to perform the behavior again. Lastly, motivation is the stage if the person gets rewarded by performing the behavior, he has a higher probability to do that in future. Let's look at the example for better understanding. Attention. The kid needs to pay attention to observe how the adult interacts with Bobo doll. In this case, the adult plays it in an aggressive way. Retention. The kids now remember the details of how to play with a Bobo doll. For example, using the hammer to hit the doll. Reproduction. Next, the little boy takes the hammer out and teach the Bobo doll a lesson. So now a quick question for motivation. If we are going to make this boy repeat his behavior in future, what should we do right now? The answer is, we can give him some rewards. It can be candy, chocolate bars, or anything which makes him feel pleasant.
A similar finding was stated by Lev Vygotsky. He thought that people only develop when we receive input from other human beings. Vygotsky's theory are more known in the field of collaborative learning, where this approach actively engages learners to process and synthesize informations and concepts rather than using rote memorization of facts and figures.
Social learning theory examples in everyday life are common, with one of the most evident being the behaviors of children as they imitate family members, friends, famous figures, and the child will also take into account what happens to other people when deciding whether or not to copy someone's actions. An impact will usually lead to a change in a person's behavior. For example, a younger sister observing an older sister being rewarded for mopping the floor. Every week, she will be more likely to repeat that behavior herself. In contrast, if they see a drunk father coming home late and shouting at their mom, this will have a negative impact on them. This will be so normal for them that they will start drinking without any hesitation in the future. Beating, abusing, and drugs will be so common for them since they see their dad doing all of this.
Next, we will go through the pros and cons of social learning theory. For the pros of social learning theory, the most significant advantage of social learning is that everyone uses it naturally daily, consciously and unconsciously. There is no issue to plan it separately or set aside time for it because it happens automatically over time. Next is higher learning retention. Through learning at first hand, there is a better ability to remember due to voice pitch, memories, or even a joke that is associated with learning something new. It is also scientifically proven that we only remember 10% from formal sources, while the 90% comes from informal sources and social learning. For example, you are being exposed to language and listening to conversations and their expressions, you will remember easier. And then we have the ability to problem solve in real time. We often look for opportunities of actual need, and the urge to solve problems that we cannot solve requires collaboration. For the cons of social learning, we have self-doubt. If everyone is a teacher and a student simultaneously, there is uncertainty about quality standards and there can be self-doubt. Next is necessary intervention. Group discussions need to be led because otherwise, they quickly digress and turn into random private conversations, losing focus on the topics at hand. Lastly, the loss of innovation is where personal thought processes and opinions are often neglected as we favor a behavior that will promise a better success.
After learning the theory, next time you could relate every part of behavior in your life to the social learning theory. When you realize that you are having a bad habit, try ask yourselves, where did I learn this behavior from? Who used to do this kind of thing? Which may help you to stop doing this behavior. Who knows? Thank you for your time. We will see you guys at the next video.